Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. Today I have a bit of a special video that I would like to make. It's a kind of a bonus video because it's just a video that I would like to make to talk about something very specific with you all, members of the community. Noble 700. Nobles of Heart, obviously. What I would like to talk about has to do with a question that I've been asked quite a few times since I started the channel, and I think that it's about time to answer this question properly, so that we know exactly with transparency and clarity what exactly my experience is and where I stand as a YouTuber, as a new YouTuber. And I've decided to make this video because I've had a recent comment, very nice comment I have to say, from Teutonic Knight 999. So thank you for making that comment. He made a very good comment, but I will just show you the little portion where he asks me whether I am actually having training or experience in HEMA, whether I am actually learning HEMA. And that's a question that a few people have asked me, because obviously out there on YouTube there are these great channels, these big channels like Scalagrim, Scholar Gladiatorian, Lindebej, and then there is my little channel. And those three channels are interesting because Scalagrim, I mean, these channels are different, and Matt Easton's, he talked about those all three channels, and he did mention that there are three different approaches, and it's interesting because, and I think that, so he made that point very clear. And as far as I understand, obviously Matt Easton's is an expert in HEMA, he's a professional, and Scalagrim practices HEMA. I have seen quite a few videos of his performances because I am subscribed, obviously I have subscribed to all three, and so he's also a good HEMA practitioner. And I've heard that Lindebej has started to practice HEMA. So, do I practice HEMA? Have I ever practiced HEMA? The answer is no. I have never practiced HEMA, and therefore my practical knowledge of HEMA techniques is zero. And I wish to be clear about this concept, because I don't want people to think that I am trying to be what I'm not. The main characteristic of my channel, which is nothing compared to other channels on YouTube, is though that I do have this quality that many other channels have as well, and that is honesty. I wish to be 100% honest with you. But the question that comes then is, would I want to learn HEMA? Well, the answer is, of course I would. I would be incredibly thrilled to learn HEMA. So why do I not practice HEMA? I don't practice HEMA, and I've never practiced HEMA, because in my city, and the city where I currently live, which is my hometown, there is no HEMA club, unfortunately. If there was a HEMA club, I would spend morning to evening in a HEMA club learning how to manage a sword. Because I mean, let's be honest to each other. What's more fun than handling a longsword and actually know how to use it? I think that's like really fun, and it will be interesting. So in my channel, since I am not able to talk about techniques, obviously I do have an overall understanding of HEMA because I've seen a lot of videos, including Scholar Gladiatorius videos and other videos of YouTubers that show how techniques and things put to practice, and to be honest with you, I have tried a few times to replicate a few of those with my friends, but none of us has ever received any formal training, and therefore I do not consider myself someone who knows HEMA and who can teach HEMA. Apart from this though, I do have to say that I am incredibly interested in the history of HEMA. I'm incredibly interested in the figure of Fiore dei Liberi, for example, but also other German masters. I have read the treatise, also because I actually made a video, I think most of you have seen it by now, but I've made a video about Fiore dei Liberi where I talk about Fiore dei Liberi, and I've read some parts of the manuscript of the treaty in ancient Italian, because since Italian is my first language, it wasn't difficult to learn ancient Italian. I have studied Dante Alighieri at university, so I do understand ancient Italian quite easily, and therefore it was rather easy and interesting for me to take advantage of this, and I have studied the manuscripts. So I do have a theoretical knowledge of what HEMA is, but I have no knowledge of techniques. So in my channel you will not see me teaching techniques. Once I did make a video where I kind of showed some of the guards, and like the the ox and the fool and all these. But personally, that wasn't because I was pretending to be a knowledgeable individual about HEMA, like some people have thought and commented, or it was not something that I've done because I thought that I could teach it. I wasn't teaching it, I was just sharing it out of passion. I was so interested in it that I immediately wanted to share it. But that is, I suppose, my fault, because unfortunately, since I am a teacher, I do have this tendency that, okay, obviously when I teach, and that being languages or history, occasionally literature, obviously I teach with a certain way of speaking, which I have developed over a few years of teaching, of doing this job. But my weak point, I suppose, something that I should work on, a flaw that I have, and I'm not, a flaw that I have is this, that sometimes when I talk about things out of just interests, it sounds like as if I am trying to teach it, but that's not the case. I know that I'm not knowledgeable in HEMA. I know nothing about the techniques. But yes, so that's my fault. And so will there be ever any technique show in my channel about HEMA? There will be eventually, because I am planning on practicing HEMA sooner or later. Now I am living in my hometown, but I am planning to move in a couple of years. And when I will, I'm not sure where I will go. I might go back to England perhaps, or just go to any other to a bigger city in Italy, I'm not sure. But wherever I'll go, I will make sure that to find a nice HEMA club, and I'll start practicing, and you'll be the very first ones to know that. And therefore we'll make videos where I will discuss the newly learned techniques, and in these videos I will make sure that I don't use a teaching tone, but I simply use a tone of sharing, and perhaps even wanted to be taught. So I will, for example, I will learn something, and then I'll say, okay, this is how I've learned, this is what I do. Do you think that I'm doing it right? Can you give me any suggestions? Because I know that quite a few of you are very knowledgeable in HEMA, and I'm sure I can learn from you. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the whole purpose of the Metatrons channel. It's not just me teaching, but the idea is sharing information and knowledge. So something I know, I will teach, and there will be many other things that I don't know that you will teach me, and we will share all these informations. And it's something that I always do, for example, even with my job. When I teach English, for example, or other languages, it's true, I teach students, and most of them are young, like secondary school students and middle school students. Occasionally I teach adults as well, specific projects that I do for the European Union, but most of the times I teach young learners. Nevertheless, when I teach them, even if they are young, they teach me back. Why? Because I might know something and teach you that, for example, a grammar rule about English, or something else about another language, or something about history perhaps. And then I might give you a date that perhaps you didn't know, but then you will give me an insight on that specific topic that perhaps I had never thought about. And believe me, 15, 16 years old students are amazing sometimes with the things that they come up with. I was like, gosh, I've been reading this thing for my whole life, like over 10 years, 12 years, and now you know, he's noticing something that I had never picked up. So I always learn from my students. I think that teaching is a mutual experience. But anyways, that's beyond the point. HEMA, I will practice it, I will learn it. Now, have I ever received any training at all in martial arts? Yes, I have. As I said, I've never studied HEMA, but I have practiced Kendo, and I have practiced fencing, modern fencing. And so here is my overly butchered Kendo. Well, this is a Bokto, which some people prefer to call Bokken, but in Japan they mostly call it Bokto. It's the wooden sword, it's the wooden katana. And yes, so I have practiced it. I also have a shinai, but not here. I have left some of my kendo gear in Japan, but I will have a friend is actually going to send it to me soon. Anyways, I will show you the gear, even if I don't actually make videos about kendos, because I probably won't. But I will show you the gear just for fun. This is a nice one, handmade. So I have received training on these martial arts. I'm not a professional. I'm not a very good practitioner of these martial arts, but I have received training. I have studied fencing in Sicily, and Sicilians' academies of fencing are quite good. It was really fun. It was very, very interesting. Obviously it's not as intriguing as HEMA, and it's probably not as effective as HEMA, because HEMA is a martial art, fencing is a sport. However, I like it. I like it. Even if I would prefer HEMA, I consider fencing and my fencing training as a nice part of my life. It was interesting, it was fun, and I think that there are quite a few interesting techniques and effective techniques in fencing as well. I practiced sword, I never practiced foil, neither have I ever practiced saber, but I'm a spadaccino. I practiced spada, but it was good. It's a good sport. I like it, and it does maintain some aspects, not many unfortunately, but some aspects of a martial art as well, in my humble opinion. Kendo, and with this I will kind of come to the end of this video. I have read a lot of times people saying that Kendo is a sport. Now that is not true. Kendo is a martial art. Now it's true, fencing is a sport, HEMA is a martial art. But we can't take this European thing, copy and paste it on Japan. Japan is a completely different country, and I practiced Kendo in Japan for 2.5 years. I lived in Japan for 3.5 years, but 2.5 years I practiced Kendo. And the very first thing my Kendo sensei, my Kendo master, taught me was Kendo is not a sport, it's Budo. And when Japanese say Budo, they mean martial arts and discipline. There is a lot of discipline in Kendo. So it's true, if you compare it to Kenjutsu, for example, then Kenjutsu is a lot closer to how the samurai used to fight, the actual swordsmanship. Kendo is a simplified version, and it's true that they have also the whole competition part of Kendo. However, I can assure you that the techniques of Jodan no Kamae, Chudan no Kamae, and all the other techniques like Meng do come from the traditional techniques, and they haven't been modified that much. It has just been simplified. But there is a lot to say about Kendo. Kendo means the way of the sword. And all martial arts that in Japan that finish with the word do, which is the ideogram for way, are martial arts that are more of an interior path that you're walking. As a matter of fact, when you say, for example, judo and even karate do and aikido, so all these martial arts have kind of lost the actual purpose of learning how to kill in a battlefield or things like that, but they do maintain the inner and spiritual essence and discipline of Japanese martial arts. Another martial, so that's something that I wanted to share with you. Also other things that my sensei taught me, for example, was this is considered and respected as much as a katana would. Because we know that for the Japanese, for example, a katana would contain the spirit of the samurai. It's something that they believed, and so it was an extension of your body, and that's something that they believe, and so it needed to be respected. And one of the first things that my teacher said, another very important thing that my teacher said, was that my sensei said was, when you put your sword, whether it be a real katana, whether it be bokto, whether it be a shinai, you need to do it in a very respectful manner. Don't bash this on the floor because you think it's a tool. It's not a tool, it needs to be respected as a weapon. And actually, Miyamoto Musashi killed a real samurai when he was only 13 using one of these. So this is a weapon, and the Japanese consider it as such. So he taught me many things about respect, and I was amazed by the I will show you some videos that I made when I was in Japan about kendo, just while I was practicing, just from a cultural and anthropological point of view, because that was also one of the reasons I started to learn Japanese martial arts in Japan. I was interested in how they live this reality, and I will make a video about this in the near future. I have other videos in mind first. Talking about Japan, I'm going to make a video about Japanese again, so a linguistic video, a language video. I can pretty much read and write anything, so I will tell you how to overcome some of the problems that most foreign people, including me, including myself, have in learning kanjis. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I've recently been reminded by one of my subscribers, shall I say, new friends perhaps, my Turkish friend, Kubilay TR. So thank you for telling me that. So thank you for reminding me that. And I will make this video about kanjis, so I look forward to that. I'll try to post it as soon as possible. It will take a bit of time to make it because I just want to be as precise as possible. So again, in this channel you will continue to find language videos, you will continue to find history videos and armors and things and helmets, because that's something I have studied. I will make videos talking about HEMA, and I will talk about the history of HEMA. I will talk about many other masters. I want to make a video about the German masters, for example, since I have made the video about about Fiore dei Liberi. I also want to make a video about the German masters and the manuscripts. So anything that has to do with academic studies I can cover, but practical things, sorry, I'm not able to do it at the moment. Maybe in the future. So, thank you very much for watching, as always. I hope that this has kind of clarified who I am and what I'm not, and what I would like to become. And I hope that one day I will find a nice HEMA club and practice HEMA with some of you. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Thanks for watching.